Okay, so the first term is instance of a class. So whenever we create a class, so just like you can see here in this program, the name of the class is student. So after creation of this class, there is need to declare object of this student class. So whatever the object declared of this student class, so that object name is known as instance of a class. So here in this line you can see student stu1. So student is the name of the class here, and stu1, it is actually a user defined name, so any name can be put here. So this stu1 is one of the instance of this class student. So here I am going to write this in comment. So here is stu1 is instance of class student. Okay, so a class can contain, means a program can have a different number of instances of the class. So it is totally depend upon the programmer. So here in this program only one instance you can see, because only one object is here. So instance means simply the object. Okay, instance of a class. Now if I create one more object, so student means the name of the class. After this class name, then you have to put the name of the object. So for here I am going to take stu2 for the second student, then new keyword, and then again the name of the class with this parenthesis. Okay, so now here this stu2 is now another instance of this same class student. So here stu2 is also an instance of class student. Understood everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whenever you create an object in a class, so that object is also known as instance of the class. Okay. Now the next is instance variable. So for this we have to move here. So here you can see that I have declared some variables like age and height. Next you can see physics, phy, math, cheng. So these are the variables. So in the program we need variable to store certain data. So this whole program is dedicated to store details of a student. So this detail include the student name, father's name, age, height, marks in 5 different subjects, then total marks and percentage marks. So all these details will be stored somewhere in these variables. Okay, and these variables are declared in this class student. Now just look here. Here I have created two objects, means two instances of this class student. The first instance is stu1 and the next is stu2. So when I use this stu1 dot roll number like this, stu1 dot, just here I'm going to show the example. So yeah, roll number is not here. Here we have age, height, student name. So let us take age. So stu1 dot age equals to, if I am giving this 19, it means only this first object variable age will contain this value 19. In the second object, I can put another value also. So stu2 dot age equals to, for example, here I am going to put 20. So here in this same variable age, two different values are here, 19 and 20. But the difference you just see here that this variable name is same, but this same variable is accessed by two different objects here. In the first case, it is accessed by stu1, and for stu1 the age value is 19, and for the second object stu2 the age value is 20. So these variables are known as instance variable, because the value inside these variables can be different, and it depends upon the instance using which the variable is accessed. So here I have here two instances, stu1 and stu2. So here age is instance variable, and that is why I can store two different values of age in this same program. So not only for age, I can store two different values in these all variables: stu name, father's name, age, height, physics, math, in all these variables that I have selected here or declared here. So all these variables are known as instance variable. Why instance variable? Because using different instances, we can store different values in these variables. Understood, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. Yes, understood.
If you find any doubt, then you can ask. So for two terms I have explained here. So here I am going to put instance variable. Okay. So why these variables are known as instance variables? Because these variables will be accessed by the object in this program. Means uh, here I have declared two objects. So using these two objects, I can easily access any of these variables, and so that I can put two different types of values in these variables with the help of two different objects. If I make one more object, means the third object, so I'll be able to put three different types of values for the same variable. So using the instance, means the object in this program, I can access any of these variables. That is why these variables are known as instance variables. Now I think everyone now understood. Now the next one is instance method. So here in this program, you already had seen that input data is one method, display is the second method, calc total, third method, calc PER, fourth, and the last one is calc div. So whatever the method declared in this program, so all these methods here in this program are instance methods. So here I am going to write instance methods. Why these methods are instance method? Because just like variables, these methods can also be accessed. Just see here in this code that input data method is accessed by this stu1 object. Display method is also accessed by this stu1 object. So like this, I can access this uh, with this stu2 object also, just like you could see stu2 dot input data. So the first object will store the details of the first student. The second object will store the details of the second student. Means whatever the variables I have declared earlier in this program, so I can store two different types of values for two different students. But for that, here I have to use two different objects also. So using these two objects, just like here you can see I have accessed the age variable or any other variable. So I can access any method also. Here 2 will, it will be 2 here. Okay. So using this stu2 object, I can also access input data. Here you can see using this stu1 dot input data means with this object, I have access input data method. So I can access any of these methods using these two objects. That is why these objects are known as instance method, because these methods are totally dependent upon the instance. Instance means the name of the objects. Understood?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at this time, you don't have to worry how to write all these codes. You will study in your coming chapters how these you have to write these codes. Only at this point, you just consider these terms. What are instances? What are instance variables? What are instance methods? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Okay, sir.
Now the next thing is that we have other two types of two terms are there, that class variables and class methods. So what are these things? So just consider this program here, that here in this program I have declared these many variables, and all these variables are instance variables, because uh, the values stored in these variables will be different, and that will be depend upon the instance using which the variable is accessed. Means if 5 objects are there, then 5 types of values can be stored in these variables. But let us take a situation that I have one variable here that is sharing the common value for all objects. What I am trying to say here, that STU name will be different for 5 different students, no? Maybe.
Yes, sir.
Means
Yes, sir.
I have to store the details of 5 students, then STU name will be different for each student.
Yes,
Father's
sir.
name can also be different, age or height can be different, maybe same, but uh, it may be different also. But if I take here one more variable like string type, and the name of the variable I am going to take is school name. Now, what do you say about this variable school name? Means this variable will store different school name for each student, or the same name for each student?
Sir, same name.
Same name, sir.
Same name.
Same name.
Same name, na? It means that this school name here is a kind of variable that is sharing the same data with all the objects in this program, or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Here, apart from this school name, if you take any other variable like age, height, physics, math, any variable declared earlier in this program, so these variables may share same value or may not share same value. Is it possible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
Yes,
sir.
sir.
possible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But in case of a school name, uh, the school name will be the same, no, for each student.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
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 Yes, sir.
So, so such type of variable should be declared as static. So for this, a keyword will be used, a static. Means if I put this static keyword just before the data type and the variable name. So here a string is data type and a school name is the name of the variable. Here int is data type and age and height are the names of variable. I think you already know about data type. Data type means to specify what kind of value that should be stored in this variable. So here in the age, integer type of values will be stored. Height, integer type of values will be stored. But in case of this school name, a string type of value. String type of value means combination of characters. Means you can store alphabets in combination. Okay. So here
Yes,
I
sir.
have used a keyword that is static here. So if I use this static keyword before any method or any variable, so this variable will now become the class variable. Okay. And if I put this a static here just before the any method, so now this is not an instance method now. Now it becomes a class method this time, just because of this static keyword. Okay. Now what is difference here? So as all you have said that a school name is same for each student, means there is no need to put different school name for each student. So the same value will be stored in the school name for each and every student in this program. So here I have to make this school name variable as class variable, because now it is a class variable. So this school name cannot be accessed by any object. So here I had written that stu1 dot age equals to 19. I had written, means this age variable is accessed by this stu1 object. But this school name, if I write here like this, stu1 dot school name equals to, if I write like this, then it will show an error, because the school name variable is now a static type. So any static type of variable or method cannot be accessed using the object. Okay. It can only be accessed with the name of the class, because these are now class variable or class method. So the proper way to access this school name is to use the name of the class, like student, that is the name of the class, then dot, then the name of the variable or the method. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
understood.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the difference between these two types of variable, class variable and instance variable? Who will explain?
So may I?
Yes, explain.
So in class variable, all the results remain same, and in instances, the result may vary.
Any other difference? Just see here. If we declare a variable as instance variable, then those variables can be accessed by the object of the class. If we declare any static variable or a static method, so those things will be accessed only by the class, not the object. Okay. Why?
Okay, sir.
Because instance variables are accessible to objects. So objects can put different values in any variable.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But in case of class, this school name is only accessible to the student class, it means only one value can be assigned for this school name variable. Why? Because this school name value will be shared with all the object. Means the same value will be shared. Why? Because none of the object can access this school name variable. So if they cannot access this variable, so they cannot put different value also in this variable. Now understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What about others? Renu, Mrityunjay, Sahil, Shubham, total 14 students are
Yes,
there.
understood.
Aman?
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So these are the terms I have to explain regarding any object-oriented programming, and these things will you will get in your further classes how to create such things in your program. Means how to create a static uh, variable or method in your program, or how to declare this instance variables and how you will use these variables. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Now the next topic is methods. Okay, so I think you all know about this term method. We use methods in program to explain the behavior of object. Okay, so what are the different types of method we can create in a program? This new topic we have to study. So So methods are of two types. And these are number one, predefined methods. And the second, user defined method. Okay, so these are the two types of methods. So in Java, there are so many predefined methods. All these methods come with different kinds of libraries in the Java. Okay, so predefined methods are there in Java to perform some predefined operations. Like many times you have used this system dot out dot print ln or print. So here print ln is one of the predefined method, and this print ln method is here used to display the result on the output screen. Okay, so print ln here is a predefined method. So like this print ln method, we have another method also, like print method. It is also used for displaying the output. The difference here is print ln always display the output in the new line, while the print method display the output in the same line. Okay, I think you had studied these two methods in class 8.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There is a class known as math in Java. So in math class, so many predefined methods are there, like SQRT method to calculate the square root of any number, CBRT method to calculate cube root of any value, So it means some predefined methods are already present in Java, so that you don't have to write the program for such type of operation. Just like if you want to find a square root, so either you can write a whole program to calculate the square root, or you can use this sqrt method as it is already defined in Java. Okay, so here you have two options. So I'm going to show you some math methods. So just see here, math is a class, and in a class methods will be there. So just see here. Yes, you see here, basic math methods. So math.abs. So abs is one of the predefined method. It is used to find the absolute value of a given number. Here again, max method. Max is used to find the largest of the two values. So either you can write a whole program to find the largest number, or you can use this max method. Okay, so if you use max method, you don't have to write the whole program, just you have to use this one. So I'll tell how to use them. Okay, so here you can see the list is long here. Okay, these all are math methods. And all these methods are predefined methods, means you don't have to write program for mean, for rounding values, for a square root, for cube root, to calculate the power, for sign seal. Again, it is for rounding values, copy sign next after. So all these are from this math class. So like math, so many other classes are also there in Java, and each class has its own list of predefined methods. Okay, so don't worry about this. You don't have to study all these methods at a time. It will come in low pace. Okay, understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'll continue this method in detail in tomorrow's class. So I'll suggest you all to, before joining tomorrow's class, you should study about methods. It is given in your book. Okay, so I'm telling
Okay,
you
sir.
Okay, sir.
page number
Okay, sir.
45. Okay, methods.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay, then thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.